Single and struggling to manifest your soulmate? I'm going to share with you my 3-step method that allowed me to go from 10 years of repeatedly attracting men who were not ready for commitment when it came to relationships, to having an array of eligible bachelors chase me, to then meeting my amazing husband in Santorini, Greece. Hi Love Bug, this is Priya, your Love Plus Manifestation Coach, and today my 3-step method that I'm going to be sharing with you literally transformed my love life within 6 weeks. That at first, it was actually quite scary at how fast my method works. So no matter where you are in your love life right now, whether you're somebody who for 20 years attracted toxic relationships, or whether you are somebody who has been single for 10 years, it doesn't matter, my method works fast. Take it from somebody who spent her entire 20s repeatedly attracting men who were not ready for commitment, yet none of that mattered. Once I applied this process, everything changed within 6 weeks. So let's get started. My 3-step method to effortlessly manifest your soulmate relationship. Step number 1, get clear about what your dream relationship looks like. So what you want to do is you want to begin to make a list around what your dream relationship looks like. Now there are 3 components to making this list. The first component is that you want to focus on what your dream partner looks like. What does your dream partner feel like and look like emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually? Now you might be very clear about all the details of this, or you might not yet be sure. Either way, it doesn't matter. You can get as detailed or as general as you like. The intention of this exercise is to write it all down so that you can visually get clear about what it is that you want in your dream relationship. Now, if you are somebody who is not quite sure, then you can make general statements such as, I want somebody who I have insane chemistry with. I want somebody who I have an undeniable physical attraction with. So you can kind of stay as general as that, or you can go more specific if you know what that looks like for you. For example, you might know the height, the age, the job, or what this specific person, your dream partner, looks like. The second component to this is to write down the vibe of the relationship. So the first one is about focusing on what your dream partner looks like, and now the second component is about focusing on the vibe of the relationship. So what is the feeling and the vibe of the relationship? So for me, I had things like, I want the relationship to be harmonious, expansive, fun, loving, authentic. So you kind of want to get into all the juicy details about the vibe of the relationship. This sort of sets the tone for the relationship that you're going to begin to call into your experience. Now, what I can also tell you is that I have actually applied this process that I'm sharing with you here twice, okay? The first time when I manifested my ex-boyfriend, and the second time, of course, when I manifested my husband. And I can tell you that in both scenarios, I got exactly the things that I had written down on my list. So the first time I did this, I had all sorts of details on my list, from the height of the person to the job they had to the car they had. And then of course, all the emotional stuff, like, I wanted them to be loving and kind, and I got exactly that. Once that relationship came to its completion, I had expanded so much as an individual. So now my preferences were different from what they were before. In fact, if I was to kind of reflect back on what my preferences looked like back then, I don't even sort of recognize the person that I was, because I used to work in corporate London at that point. My preferences looked very different. The type of person that I desired at the time was like somebody who was working in the corporate world, who had like professional qualifications. Like those things were important to me back then. But the second time I did this process, like none of that really mattered. The only thing that really mattered to me, at that point in my life, was calling in somebody who was spiritually awakened and who lived, breathed, and practiced universal principles. And, I had other things in there, like I wanted this person to be an online entrepreneur, because I had just started my own coaching business. I now had that flexibility to move around, so I wanted my partner to also have that flexibility to move around. So my desires had definitely evolved a lot from who I was a few years back. Anyway, my message is that, once I made this list, I basically got everything that I'd written down on the list. Now, the third component about getting clear about what your dream relationship looks like is something that most people don't think about, yet I think is very important to be clear about. And that is, do you desire to date, or do you just want to meet that person and just know from the get-go that this person is for you and that person feels exactly the same way about you? Because yes, you can actually specify how you want that to be. So the first time when I applied this process, when I manifested my ex, I didn't really care whether I dated or not at the time. So, I just sort of left that open-ended, and the way in which it unfolded to me manifesting that relationship was that I was getting to know several people, and I was dating several people from this higher state of consciousness. So it was really fun, and the unfolding was so fun. But my point is, I really didn't mind dating at that point in my life. Now, the second time when I applied this process, I was very clear that I did not want to date because it wasn't my highest excitement, and I just kind of couldn't really be bothered to date. It just no longer excited me. This time I was crystal clear that I just wanted to meet the person who was for me, and that we would both just know from the get-go that we are meant to be with each other. And so I specified that in my list, and that's exactly what I got. When me and my husband met in Santorini, we had this incredible connection that we didn't even understand at first, but we both just knew that we had to be around each other. And so we both just kept following divine guidance, because my husband lived in the US and I was from London. I'm a Brit, but yet the way that our higher selves in the universe allowed everything to unfold was so seamless and effortless, because we were an energetic match. Both of us were an energetic match to our dream relationship. So the first step in this manifestation process is to get clear about what it is that your dream relationship looks like. And the three components that you want to incorporate into it is that you first want to focus on what your dream partner looks like, mentally, spiritually, physically, and emotionally. Then you want to focus on the vibe of the relationship. What does the vibe of the relationship feel like? This really sets the tone for your dream relationship upon which it is built. And then you also want to focus on if you are somebody who doesn't mind dating, or if you just want to meet your person and, from the get-go, you both just know that you want to be with each other. So once you get very clear about those things, you want to make sure that, you list it all out. Now, the reason why it's powerful to begin to make a list about what your dream relationship looks like is because this allows you to align your vibration with what it is that you want in your dream relationship, so that you become crystal clear like a laser beam about what it is that you do want in your dream relationship, and therefore you can crowd out the noise for anything less. So this particular part of the process, step one, allows you to lock in the energy of your dream relationship. So now let's move on to step number 2, becoming an energetic match to your dream relationship. Now, the way in which you become an energetic match to your dream relationship is achieved by getting into the energy of wholeness. Now, the energy of wholeness says, I am good enough the way that I am lovable the way that I am, and I am worthy the way that I am. Now, when you are dwelling at this state of consciousness, you feel so whole and complete from the inside out that you don't need a single thing to change outside of you in order to feel better. This is when you are dwelling at a very high vibration. And this is really the key to that self-love piece. This is really the journey that gets you to having so much unconditional love for yourself that then allows you to become an energetic match to your dream relationship. Because when you're feeling balanced inside, when you are feeling stable inside, when you are feeling steady inside, from this state of consciousness, when you begin to focus on your dream relationship, you will feel as if you already have it. Now, this is very important because for most people, when it comes to manifesting their dream relationship, they stay stuck in the energy of wanting. Now, if you're stuck in the energy of wanting, then what it will feel like is that it will feel like, you will feel very needy or desperate. You will feel as if you really, really need that dream relationship in order to feel better, in order to feel lovable. These are all signs that you're in the energy of wanting. And here's the thing about that. It's a trap. Because when you're in the energy of wanting, you are not an energetic match to your dream relationship. Therefore, it cannot manifest into your experience. So by first taking the time to get into the energy of wholeness, you will automatically feel as if you have it, because you've taken the time to fill yourself up with that cup of love, with that cup of worthiness. Now, if you want to learn how to get into the energy of wholeness, click the link below in the description box to get instant access to my free masterclass, where I show you step by step exactly how to do this. So you are now aware that step number 2 is about becoming an energetic match to your dream relationship. And this is achieved by first getting into the energy of wholeness, so that you feel worthy, so that you feel lovable, so that you know that you're good enough now in the present moment. When you are dwelling at this state of consciousness and you begin to then focus on your dream relationship, you will feel as if you already have it. And this is when it will manifest effortlessly into your experience with speed. Now, before I move on to step number 3, if you're finding this content valuable, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell to be notified every time I post new videos around how to manifest your epic love life. And also, I want to hear from you. Are you somebody who's currently struggling to manifest your soulmate? And if so, what are you struggling with the most? Comment below and let me know, because I might just make a video where I share with you how to transform what it is that you're struggling with. Finally, step number 3, matching the soulmate relationship frequency. Now, in order to match the soulmate relationship frequency, it's first important to understand what the soulmate relationship frequency really means. Now, so many people believe that their soulmate or their twin flame is about this one other person that is out there for them, when in reality, this just isn't true and is actually a human construct. And here's why. Your soulmate is not another person. Your soulmate has nothing to do with anything outside of you. Your soulmate is you mating with your soul. Let me repeat that. Your soulmate is you mating with your soul. Because only when the relationship with you clicks into place can all your other relationships in your life click into place automatically. Furthermore, every single relationship in your life is a reflection of who you are being. Therefore, when you prioritize the relationship with yourself so that you fill yourself up with love and with self-worth, now the greatest version of you can show up in the relationship, and therefore this has to then be reflected back to you by your partner. Now, I can tell you firsthand that this is the key to thriving in your relationship. Because something that happened to me in my first relationship was that once I got the relationship, I stopped doing the inner work, which meant that now I became codependent on my partner for my happiness. When I observed my partner doing something that I liked, I felt great. And when I observed him doing something that I didn't like, I didn't feel good and I felt crappy. And so now my well-being and my happiness was completely dictated upon what my partner was doing or not doing. And so this really made me a victim to my circumstances. But what I can say is that this really allowed me to come to the realization that actually my soulmate is me, and that I prefer to be sovereign, I prefer to be autonomous, and I prefer to be empowered. And that the key to feeling empowered is about prioritizing the relationship that I have with myself. And I can tell you guys that I honestly have the most amazing relationship with my husband, because we are both self-sufficient in our happiness. We are not codependent on one another for that. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't have triggers in the relationship. Like, of course we do, but we're really good at managing our triggers and at bringing ourselves back into vibrational alignment. So you are now aware that matching the soulmate relationship frequency is about prioritizing the relationship that you have with yourself, because your soulmate is you mating with your soul, and that every single relationship in your life is a reflection of who you are being. You are also aware that your soulmate or your twin flame has nothing to do with someone or something outside of you, that this is actually a human construct that we made up. And that in actual fact, there are thousands of people right now who are an exact representation of everything that you desire in your dream relationship. So to summarize, my 3-step process does not only allow you to manifest your dream relationship, it also allows you to continue to thrive in your dream relationship forevermore. Now, if you want to learn the practical applications of what you have learned here today, then you want to click the link below to get access to my free masterclass, where I show you step by step exactly how to do this. Thanks for watching this video on how to manifest your soulmate relationship. Give me a thumbs up if it resonated for you, and I will catch you soon.